Well, let me first say that for the past 7 years, I've been teaching night classes in public speaking, so I can stay home with my kids, but I can tell you it's a whole lot easier to teach it than it is to do it. My name is Patti Walker, and I'm here today as a mom to ask you to support S.574, which would ensure sex education in our state be medically accurate. My kids are 6 and 3, and though they're too young for it now, I want to make sure that they get medically accurate sex education when they're ready for it. I'm an active registered voter, but I've never contacted my legislators about political issues before. However, this is an issue that concerns me deeply. My mom had me when she was 17, and she likes to say we grew up together. We have a great relationship now, but she made a lot of mistakes in the early years of raising me that made me determined not to follow in her footsteps. She didn't have sex ed in 1976, and her parents did not discuss it except to demand abstinence, but I guess I'm living proof of how well that worked out. Please don't misunderstand my meaning, though. I think encouraging abstinence and providing medically accurate information about contraception go hand in hand. I want my kids to be taught that abstinence is the only 100% effective method of preventing sexually transmitted disease and pregnancy. And I also want them to learn that the American Academy of Pediatrics says all methods of hormonal birth control are safer than pregnancy, but they don't protect the body against STIs. I want them to hear that the CDC says consistent and correct use of condoms can reduce the chances of contracting HIV. However, the most reliable ways to avoid transmission of STIs are to abstain from sexual activity or to be in a long-term, mutually monogamous relationship with an uninfected partner. And I also want them to know that STIs often go unrecognized because they can be asymptomatic. I found all that out on the internet, yeah? I will be doing my best to provide this information to my kids, but I want the help of certified health teachers backing me up with facts. If there are parents who don't see the benefit or who feel kids aren't ready for this information, or if they just want more control over what their kids are taught, they can always opt out. Public schools still request immunization records based on the CDC's recommendations for keeping our kids safe, while some parents invoke freedom of religion and refuse vaccinations, and that's fine. They can do that, that's their right. But our whole system can't be based on the ideas of a few. We have to provide accurate information about the risks of becoming sexually active. I believe we need to put the ed back in sex ed and pass S.574. Thank you.
Any questions? Good job public speaking.
I'll let myself.
All right, that's all we've had that have signed up to speak. What's the will of the subcommittee?
Mr. Chairman, just a comment. I don't have a question. You're honestly talk too fast for me to keep up. But you did say something that I wanted to reinforce, is that you wanted you teach your children, and that's wonderful. By the way, that's key to success for all of our children, is for parents to be involved in every aspect of their life. We know that, and we ought to be preaching that. So that our children, my view is that our children need to know what we expect from them. And if we hand off the prevention totally to the schools, whether we like it or not, we're neutralizing in some classrooms anyway, not in all classrooms, but in some classrooms, we're neutralizing the abstinence message that we want our children to get, because it builds character. Go back to the marshmallow test, which we'll talk about on another day, Ms. Chen. But it builds character, but it also lets our children know what we expect from them, and that and we want the best for them, which is abstinence until marriage and fidelity within marriage. We sometimes forget about that. So we don't want to give a false expectation to our children. We want them to get accurate information. Accurate information needs it, but we don't want to forget, Mr. Chairman, we don't want to forget that children are going to model our behavior as parents, whether we like it or not. And they're going to model what they see and what they hear, and they're going to model our lives. And if they hear conflicting information at school, is that going to help them or hurt them?
I don't see how the medically accurate information, like the stuff that I
Well,
pulled
we're
up,
jumping
would
back and forth
conflict that.
between medically accurate information and STDs. Grable says that we're giving medically accurate information. Nobody contests that. In fact, Senator Martinsburg about won me over on
again, like you
the
said-
matter of being medically accurate information. You do it through the language of the amendment. It is it's innocuous, and by innocuous I mean I'll define innocuous for myself as I use it. It's not alarming. It's
The terms medically
and
accurate.
it's just
They're
it's
not alarming? I'm sorry, I'm misunderstanding. What part of it is not alarming?
you're the speech writer. I'm not.
No, I just really didn't understand. What part of it is not alarming? The medically accurate part or the way it is already?
Anything in the amendment. There's nothing in the amendment that's alarming. And so I said, anyway.
As it is now, is that what you mean?
Right.
Okay, that's what I got you. I understand.
And that's interesting, because that's what the point I raised about my objection to all this is that the Comprehensive Health Act is going to be opened up, and we spent 2 months on that before. Maybe we'll spend 2 months on it again next year, I don't know.
And I think from what I heard you say, just because someone can do the right thing doesn't always mean that they will, and that including the words medically accurate, try to insist that they meet that standard.
No. Thank you for making that clear. No, I like the words medically inaccurate. I just don't like taking abstinence out of the comprehensive health.
It wasn't coming out, was it? I wouldn't want it to come out.
Right.
I would not want it to come out.
Yeah, we've got 124 House members and there's 46 senators, and most of us in the Senate are reprobate.
The version that I read and I'm here to support included encouragement of abstinence.
There's no disagreement about medically inaccurate this time.
Okay.
There's very few examples of, what is Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I'm done.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify, this bill does not take out abstinence.
Does not take out abstinence, nor does it take out the option of the parent to excuse their dutiful advice.
One thing I did notice, thank you. Any other questions? All right, let's go ahead and open up discussion of the bill. The bill had